2018 to 2023, and you will take us through the part that said what you have done, the service you have rendered. You are entitled to be paid that honorarium. So please note it down.
What I'm saying here is...
No, listen.
Not the part that
wait. Mr. Sanyan, wait. You have said the Director of Finance's opinion is his opinion. You have nothing to say about that. For the budget that you want to rely on, I am ordering you to bring copies. Please note it. From 2018 to 2023, end of January 2023. You will want to see the provision that is contained in the budget that talks about the honorarium, and you take us through the breakdown of what that honorarium entails in the budget. I believe you can do that, Mr. Sanyan, because the budget is normally tabled at council, so you go through all the budget lines to discuss what they entail. Council, you may proceed. Thank you. So we are expecting
for
you
the period 2018
to 2023. And we expect you to bring this by Tuesday next week.
Okay.
All right. Please note.
But if I should be given an opportunity to express myself, I will be very much happy.
No, we will give you, definitely.
Yes, that's what I'm saying is the budget, what the budget entails.
Yes.
It does not have a breakdown, but it has a budget line for honorarium, which we are paid. That is what I'm saying.
Yes, that is what I'm saying too. We are saying the same thing.
Now, you are telling me the breakdown of the payments.
Yes, because I spoke to you. I said the Director of Finance have explained that the payment was unlawful because I referred him to the financial manual to show me where in law it has been provided for. So he said to me that it was wrong to have made that payment. And you said in the budget, honorarium is there.
Yes, that is what I said.
So if honorarium is there, I want you to specifically specify for me under that honorarium, because the budget is dissectable. The budget is a budget that you can dissect to understand the elements under each revenue head or heading. If you say honorarium, in the write-up, in the notes of the budget, it will indicate to you what is supposed to be contained under the honorarium as payments. So that is what I want you to bring to us.
With due respect, Ma,
yes.
In the council budget, I can assure you that you cannot even stitch this out in that honorarium, what it entails, what payments it entails.
You said?
In the council budget,
yes.
That has been approved by council,
yes.
Under the honorarium column,
yes.
It does not spell out what honorarium has to be paid.
Well, now, when you bring the budgets, we will discuss further those issues.
Thank
you. Perhaps we may come to the same level of understanding.
Okay.
You might
you say
by Tuesday.
Next Tuesday?
Next week Tuesday, yes. Please. Thank you. Council, you may proceed.
Yes, please, when you're done writing, you can. Are you ready, sir?
Yes, sir.
Let me ask that you be handed over the exhibit. Do you have it? It's a voucher.
Yes, I've seen a voucher.
Yes, what is the exhibit number, sir?
I am not legally minded to know what do you mean by exhibit.
You what?
I'm not legally minded to know what do you mean by exhibit.
Okay, you'll be referred to the number I want you to read out by the registrar. Have you been shown the number?
Yes, Council.
Please
read
out the number. Please read out the number.
LGC/AS/BKAC/015. The last number is 5. If I
5, okay.
Yes, it's right.
So that is the exhibit number, all right?
Okay.
Now, what is the voucher number?
I will be struggling to know because I am not the author of the
voucher number. Wait a minute. The voucher number, no, Mr. Register, wait. But you sat at the finance committee.
Yeah, but
You are just wait a minute. You're not legally minded, but you've worked in the finance committee, so you should know what a budget number is.
no, we are not taking through on these documents to know what a voucher number is, how a voucher is prepared for me to know.
You should have.
We are not prepared.
You should have. Now I will ask the register to help you as well, to show you what a voucher number is. It's written with pen on top.
PV.
At the far right. Do you see the number?
This is the number.
Have you been shown?
Yes, I have seen it. You have shown me.
Yes. Now, please read out the number.
11, that is 111
Yes.
044 12.
Is the one at the far right? Is that the one you're reading?
This is why I said I'm not conversant. What is shown
Just
is what I'm
read
reading.
the far right.
Okay, the PV number. I have seen PV. That is 1169.
Yes. PV means payment voucher. Okay? Now, what is the description?
Being payment of honorarium to councillors as 288,000 per attack.
Yes. You will see a list of councillors. Can you turn to the next page? Do you see the list?
Yes, I've seen the list.
Do you see your name there?
Yes, I've seen my name there.
How much was paid to you?
$8,000.
$8,000. And this every year. What period was this?
Just this 2018, if I could recall, if I am not, if I am
The
right.
date should be there.
Yes, the date is there, but
What's the date?
okay. At the stamp is 13th of August 2018.
13th August 2018.
Yes.
All right. What services have you rendered to deserve the payment?
This is what
Just
this
that
is what I'm
payment
saying.
itself specifically. Let's limit ourselves to that payment.
The services that I have rendered is what I have said is that at my committee level, the assessments that we have done are gathered, put together, not paid at the end of our exercise. And when our committee comes and Tobaski, we will be called to come and receive our honorarium.
Why would you wait until Tobaski and correct?
That is not up to our discretion.
No, you had said if you have allowances are supposed to be paid immediately. You render the service. If attended meetings, after attended meetings, do you not sign the meeting minutes?
We do.
And then it's forwarded to finance,
Yes.
and you are paid your allowance.
Yes.
The sitting allowances as well for council.
Council sitting allowance, sometimes when it goes difficult for council, sometimes you receive it after council sitting.
That is if there is no money.
There is no money, yes.
But for
and
this
even
one-
committee meetings as well.
Yes, but it's paid usually regularly. It has to be paid immediately after you have attended the meeting.
This one.
No, I mean the allowances are paid when you immediately render the service. Allowances generally, that's how they are paid.
Yes, that is what I'm saying. But it's based on the financial muscles of the council. This exercise, when we conduct it,
Why are you paid every year, the same time, the same period, this amount?
the same time, the same period, the same amount.
Yeah, it's Tobaski and Korite.
That is what I'm saying. The amount is determined by the management, not us.
Does the management determine your allowances?
The council sitting allowance.
No, you see, Mr. Sayan, is management supposed to determine your allowance as a council?
Our council sitting allowance is determined by the budget when we draw
The
the
question
budget. Yes.
is asked, does the management determine your allowances as councillor?
It's the ministry that will determine the allowance.
Thank you very much. So so if the management determines your allowance, will that be lawful?
That is
No.
That is to the best knowledge of the management.
Who determines your allowance as councillor?
It's the ministry.
So any other person that determines your allowance, will that be lawful?
What I meant here
Answer
is
the question. is either yes or no, then you explain. Who determines your allowance as councillor?
It's the ministry.
If any other person determines your allowance aside from the ministry, will that be lawful?
Will that be lawful?
Yes.
The allowances are different.
No, answer the question.
Yes.
How will it be lawful?
How will it be lawful?
Yes.
When it comes to our monthly allowances, that one is determined by the ministry.
I will give you the Act 2002.
I have the act with me.
Now talk to the allowances for councillors. I will assist you on
Section 27.
section
27
yes,
to 28.
Yes, 27, 28. 28 is meetings and proceedings. 27 is allowances for members of a council. It shows you know the act is very good.
I do read, not frequently, but I do follow.
That's very good, Mr. Sanya. I commend you for that. Now read the part, the allowance is for members of a council, section 27 of the Local Government Act 2002.
The Secretary of State shall, by regulations, determine allowances and any other benefits which shall be paid by a council to its members.
And any other
allowances?
No, benefit.
Benefit. Sorry.
Your allowances.
Any other benefits?
Your allowances.
Yes.
Or any other benefit has to be determined by the ministry.
Can I come in?
No. Is that what it says?
Yes.
Where do you classify this 8,000 that you have received?
In the honorarium budget, which is
where does it fall here in 27?
Any other benefit.
Any other benefit?
Yes.
And to be determined by?
The ministry.
Good.
And
so take your time. You see, when you take your time, you will answer the questions. When you want to explain something, you can ask the chairperson to give you latitude to explain.
Thank you.
Understand? Yes, but just answer, and then you can tell the chairperson, I want to explain. Do you understand that?
Yes, I understand.
So do you agree that the Act clearly says that your allowances or any other benefits will be determined by the ministry?
Yes, I agree.
The management in determining any of your benefit, would that be lawful? The management determine how much you should receive?
Madam Chair, if I may come in.
No, answer first, and then you can even explain, you can ask that you want to explain.
Based on the budget, yes.
No, I'm not talking about the budget. I'm going by the Act first. Going by the Act.
Yes.
The management, the CEO, the finance director, or even let me tell you who the management is. Who is the management as far as you're concerned?
In the Local Government Act, when you say the management, the head of the management is the CEO.
Thank you very much.
And the head of the policy makers is the chairman.
So when you say management, who are you referring to?
Here I said the management because who
are you referring to as management?
CEO.
Thank you very much. See, when you do this, it's okay. You answer questions. So the CEO determines your benefit. Do you classify? You said you have classified the 8,000 as any other benefit, correct?
Yes.
And the law says it's the ministry that should approve it and not the CEO or any other person. Did the law say that?
Madam Chair, if
did
I
the
may
law
come
say
in.
that?
If I may come in, Madam Chair.
Yes, Mr. Bojan, sorry, yes, no, just go on.
Mr. Sanya.
Yes, Council.
I don't think councillors are entitled for any form of honorarium. Because you as a councillor, you have a social contract with your community. You are elected to serve.
I don't hear that one. Excuse me.
Huh?
I don't hear that.
I mean, you as a councillor,
yes,
you have a social contract with your community. And that is why you are elected to serve your community. And in doing that, and that is why the ministry has the overall responsibility of creating or approving allowances, because you are not part of the establishment. Like you rightly pointed out,
yes.
Our council is divided into two. You have the policy making and also you have the administration. Policy headed by, the administration headed by the council, by the CEO. The administration is headed by the CEO and the policy is headed by the chairperson or the mayor. And the councillors, starting from the mayor all the way down, are not part of the permanent establishment. And that is why they are not salaried. And that is why they are given allowances approved by the ministry. So anything that you do as a councillor is pro bono, is free, because you are representing or serving your community. And that is why the allowance is given to you. So as a councillor, you are not entitled for any form of honorarium. I just want to make that clear.
May I come in, please, sir?
Yes,
Commissioner?
before you come in, Mr. Sanyang. Sorry, let me put on my mic. Before you come in, Mr. Sanyang, let us have an understanding that what you have been asked many councillors that have sat here and given their own version. And I want to make it very clear that nobody sits there without being given the absolute, and let me emphasize that, the absolute opportunity to express themselves and to give their evidence to the best of their ability.
I'm very much glad.
Yes, and then the issue is we should have an appreciation, because nobody understands the law in its entirety. And I am not saying you admit what you don't want to admit, because whatever your evidence is, that is what we will take.
Sure.
We cannot take something that is not your evidence.
Sure.
What you believe in and have said, and you swore to an oath that this is what you are going to say, that is what we will take. But it is our duty and responsibility to also highlight to you what we have as facts and what we can put to you based on people that have come before you, and the evidence and the information and the facts that we have gathered. I just want you to have that at the back of your mind.
Thank you, Madam
So
Chair.
it is not a matter of holding on to positions that I am right, you are wrong. No. You have just been asked questions, and we just want you to help us understand. You may have your understanding,
Yes.
but we will form our opinion at the end of the day
Sure.
of what your understanding is. All right?
Yes.
Thank you.
Thank you, Madam Chair.
Yes.
Uh,
Now, let me give you the opportunity to explain, because you said you want to respond to Honorable
Yes.
Fal's statement.
Yes. He has rightly said allowances under other benefits have been determined by the ministry,
Yes.
which absolutely I concur with. Now,
you.
going by by our budget,
Yes.
which is been budgeted by the council,
Yes.
sent to the ministry for endorsement,
Yes.
observation, and returned back to council for approval.
Yes.
It is embedded there, allowances are there, and any other benefits are there, like council sitting,
Yes.
Committee meetings, and honorarium is all embedded in the budget.
Yes, but
Endorsed
no,
by the ministry.
okay, we understand that. The fact also remains that Section 27 is very clear and it's not ambiguous. And I'm happy that before even council puts it to you, you've already referred to the particular section.
Yes.
Yes, they will be contained in the budget, but the law is the one that supersedes any other thing that the council may want to do. Anything that the council wants to do must be guided by what the law says. And that is exactly what council is trying to put across. That is to say, Section 27 is saying somebody is responsible to determine. And if you recall earlier on, I did say, we asked the finance director whether this payment was done in compliance with the law. And he said no, it was not done in compliance with the law. Did you get that?
I get the finance director's version.
Yes.
And I also have my version.
Yes.
Then I am very much happy to hear from the care of the committee, that the care of this commission, that you want me to say what I know, and the commission will determine what is the fact out of that.
Yes.
I will be very much pleased on that.
Yes, but that is what I told you.
Yes.
Is that not what I said?
And that is what I'm going by. I know of giving my version. Whosoever comes, give his or her version.
Yes.
I stand by my version.
Yes. you know, I have requested that you provide copies of the budget, right?
Yes.
And you have been referred to the provision of the law.
Yes.
That talks about the payment of allowances and any other benefit as provided for under Section 27 of the Act. And what the Council is interested in is who determines how much is to be paid. That is the question.
The honorarium.
I will allow the Council
To continue.
to ask the question. I was just trying to
Okay.
clarify so that we have a common understanding
Okay.
and set the things in perspective.
Okay.
All right?
All right.
Thank you. Council, you may proceed.
Thank you very much. Mr. Jonga, the Secretary will remind you of your oath.
Good morning, Mr. Witness. Number 2. Welcome back to this Commission of Inquiry into Local Government Councils and Related Matters. For continuation of your testimony before this Commission, may I remind you once again that you have taken the oath. You will go to Madam Chair.
Thank you.
Thank you. Madam Chair, I hand over the witness to you for us to proceed.
Mr. Jonga, good morning.
Morning, Madam Chair.
You're welcome back.
Thank you.
Thank you. Council, you may proceed.
Yes, thank you very much. So, Mr. Sayan, we will proceed with you. So, Jonga, we are discussing the issue of honorarium or salibo, which you are aware of, but we will discuss. I'll ask you questions regarding that. But before that, Mr. Sayan, we have the Finance Committee minutes here.
Okay.
Let me show you. Yes, that's the file for the Finance Committee. It's been identified and admitted. Do you see that file?
Yes, I've seen the file.
Yes. Do you know whether there's any other file apart from that one regarding your minutes of meetings?
No, I only know of one file that the secretary will always write the minutes and submit it to the management.
Yes.
That's the only file that I know.
Yes. So that file, it has the minutes of meetings. If you need time, we can ask that you be given the file during break so that you familiarize yourself with the contents of that file. But what I want to know is, will you find in that file minutes of meetings concerning your exercise that you are referring to during Koita and Tobaski that will warrant this payment?
I expect to find it in because the secretary always takes notes of whatsoever it has been.
Very well. So to be fair with you, during break, I will give you the file to go through, okay?
Okay.
And if you identify any minutes concerning the exercise you have embarked on, which you request for, so this request as well for the honorarium through management, do you write in the Finance Committee?
No, sir. It
You
is
don't
not
write.
written, yes.
How do you request for the honorarium?
The Finance Committee?
Yes.
We don't request. I did not say we request when it has been paid.
Yes.
We conduct an exercise.
Yes.
After the exercise, then during Tobaski and Korite, then we will be called to receive our honorarium. This is what I
How
said.
do you report to the CEO?
This is what I've said.
How do
After
you
the
report? Listen to me.
After the exercise.
Listen, wait a minute. How do you do your reporting? Is it written report or verbal report?
What I expect is the secretary
Can
after
you answer
written
my
report.
question?
Written report.
Yes,
So,
and I am saying again, I'm not going to ask you to be answering my questions. I will not do that. Do you understand that?
yes.
So, but I expect you to answer the question. I expect you to understand that you are here to answer questions.
Madam Chair, if I may give him the opportunity, if that is the case here to say yes or no, that will not even take me even 10 minutes. We will be done.
Mr. Sayang, I think this commission have rules, and by break time we will give you the rules to read of how the commission works. And I don't think we had issues with witnesses. I think also that the minimum should be accorded You have been asked questions. You will be given the opportunity you answer the questions because you are not compelled to say yes or no. If you say yes, you will explain why you say yes.
Okay.
If you say no, you will explain why you say no.
Then it's understood.
But it is not in your purview and in your right to dictate how this commission works.
Okay, sorry.
Let us get it very clear.
I surrender my
And
apology.
you don't make us to take and implement the law. Because nobody is above the law. You are sitting here because people elected you and you went to serve them in a council. And we are being given a mandate to find out what has gone wrong. And the minimum you can do out of respect for the people you represent is to listen and to answer the questions to the best of your ability. And we will take that. And we are not going to take anything sought from anybody that will sit on that chair. We are not going to take it. Council, you may proceed.
All right. Thank you very much. Yeah, so, Mr. Saya,
Yes, late counsel.
we have the CEO here, Mr. Jonga, and I'm asking you, do you approach the CEO or the chairman, whosoever you approach, the finance committee, not just the finance committee, with respect to these activities? Do you approach them verbally or you write to them?
What I do know is a committee meeting is being called. In that committee meeting is where the committee will decide on the right minutes that we will conduct an exercise. And that committee meetings are going to be handed over to the management.
That's not the question. The question is, do you approach the CEO or the chairman verbally or orally with respect to the honorarium?
In respect to the honorarium,
Yes.
this question is too open to me. It's too open. Can we come back again, please?
I will come back. I am here to come back. Will you approach the CEO or the chairman verbally, or do you write to them regarding your honorarium?
I expect if it is to be approached, it's going to be approached verbally.
Now I am telling you, it's not about what you expect. As a member of the finance committee, how do you communicate to them regarding this honorarium? Is it verbal or written?
Verbal.
Verbal. Who do you communicate to verbally?
In that communication, if I may give him the opportunity.
Who do you communicate to? The CEO is here. When you served as councillor, he was CEO as well. And there was also a chairperson who will also testify. And then you will be, as long as this issue is not clear, you will be appearing here throughout. He is here. When he confirms what you are saying, it's okay. But now I ask you the question, who do you approach, the CEO or the chairman?
There is a number of people
Who do you approach?
that approach the chairman, not the CEO.
Listen to me. Who do you approach, the CEO or the chairman?
Our line of communication is the chairman. We approach the chairman.
Not the CEO.
The chairman.
Now who decides the amount you receive during this period?
Is the management.
Who is the management?
The office of the CEO.
The office of the CEO.
Yes.
So now, Mr. Jonga, I need you to answer some questions.
Okay, thank you.
We know that councillors were paid, well, before you were CEO. Mr. Jonga testified, some councillors testified, and they explained regarding the circumstances that they were receiving this money, every Tobaski and Korite. What do you know about this Korite and Tobaski payment that is made to? In fact, we have a voucher that I will show you. Please, the voucher is there on the desk. It's in 2018, probably predated your time. It should be the time of Mam Sid Jallo, correct?
Yes.
Yes. But then we know the practice was throughout 2023 until recently it was stopped. What can you tell us about that practice?
Yes, the honorarium is usually paid before Tobaski or before Korite or before Christmas for the Christians, councillors who are Christians.
Yes.
Now, what happened is that in April 2020, we have an approval from the ministry with regards to the payment of some allowances.
Yes.
This includes the monthly sitting allowances and also the committee allowances that are paid after each meeting.
Yes.
Now, it happens that some of these committees will engage in oversight activities
Yes.
during the period. One of the conditions for the conduct of committee meetings is that no one committee can hold more than 2 meetings in a month, except in emergency situations. It means that if a committee is to sit, then you will have to send a notice indicating your agenda for that meeting, and then the issues that you want to discuss, of course, the dates.
Yes.
Then it goes to the chairman, and from the chairman it comes to my office. Then I will put on notice the Director of Finance with regards to the payment that should be done to the members of that committee. But prior to payment, minutes are produced and attendance lists are produced.
Yes.
Now it happens some of these committees will engage in oversight activities over the course of the year.
Yes.
And we do not pay for those meetings that they held during the course of the year. So we accumulate the payments, the entitlements for the period and usually pay it before Tobaski or before Korite, and then for the Christians is paid before Christmas.
That's what you know about it.
Yes.
So we also know
Yes.
that Ansu B.O. Nyas,
Yes, sir.
he testified here,
Yes.
and he explained that some councillors would approach the chairman, who will instruct the CEO and the finance director to pay during Tobaski and Korite.
I have no knowledge of, I have no discussion with the chairman prior to paying the honorarium.
The finance director too as well, Jeng,
Yes, sir.
testified here and said the same thing. That some councillors approached the chairman for monies to be paid to them as a way of celebrate support during Christmas and Tobaski.
Well, what I heard about Mr. Jeng's testimony is that it's a practice from 2018.
Yes.
Yeah,
Yes.
But that part of the statement, I did not get that clearly. But again, this is what I know about.
I'm just saying, Mr. Jeng's testimony is different from yours, and most of the councillors as well. They explain that it is a support during the festive period. The statement of the witness, Mr. Sanyang, said, on the issue of an honorarium payment, this was given to all the councillors to support the people of our ward during Tobaski and Ramadan feast. This is the same statement that is echoed by most witnesses that testified here.
Yes,
Apart from one or two that will try to justify.
Yes, I think, well, those are the witness statements of those who appeared. But,
And the oral testimony as well.
yeah, and clearly this is what I know about, about the honorarium payment.
Yes,
It's
so do you
never-
dispute that fact? Or you don't dispute that fact?
What fact?
The fact that it says celebrate support during Christmas, during Tobaski and Korite. We hear you now say Christmas as well.
Yeah.
During your time, were you paying councillors Christmas amount?
Yeah, you have one councillor who was a Christian at the time and he was receiving this as well.
But he was paid as well every Tobaski and Korite. Why would he be paid during Christmas?
Well, if he had been receiving that, that was never brought to my notice because if he is a Christian, then
Were you approving payments from 2019? You came in 2019?
I came in 2019 November, yes.
Were you approving payments for every feast?
Yeah, I wouldn't call it a salibo.
No, honorarium. Now let's go honorarium. Why were you approving it?
Yes.
For every year?
Yes.
Why were you approving it?
Was one, these are activities they have did during the period.
Yeah.
And then the underlying reason is that instead of paying $500 each to a member for a meeting that I have held, we decided to have it accumulated and paid, towards either Korite or Tobaski.
So for instance,
And now the other most important point that this is an expenditure line because these are activities that will require them to work beyond the official work.
Who decides the amount that they will receive?
The amounts, the CEO, of course, authorizes the payments.
Does the CEO have the authority to determine how much they get paid by way of allowance?
No, I do not, as a CEO, regard this as an allowance, because allowances should be authorized by the ministry.
So when you approve payment during the time that you have served for Tobaski, Korete, and now you have said Christmas, and by the way, we'll need records of all of those as well. The evidence we get is different from that.
Yeah.
But since you are the CEO, you have said you have authorized payment during Christmas, we will need you to provide us with evidence of that. But do you have the authority to determine how much a councillor is received by way of allowance? Any allowance or any benefit?
This is not an allowance, this is an honorarium. For
Yes.
allowances, no, I do not have the
So
authority.
read 20, okay. Do you have the authority to determine how much a councillor have by way of honorarium?
Yes.
Where? Show us authority.
First, well, I did not bring my laptop, so I do not have the
I have the
manual
act
with me.
here. I think the
The local
councillor has the
government
act.
act. Okay.
The act is there.
I know clearly it's the ministry.
So we need to get it's important as a CEO. Your evidence is very important.
Yeah.
So it's either we get it right or we get it wrong. So if you're saying you have the powers to pay honorarium and you've requested for the act, now we want to see it.
Yes. No, I think you're referring me to where I have the power to pay allowance. With the allowances, I said no.
How about honorarium?
Honorarium, yes.
Show us.
No, it's not here, but it's in the guideline. First,
Where will we find it?
First, let me say this. Before you make a payment, before you appropriate a payment from the budget, it has to be approved in the estimate.
Yes.
That is key factor that we always pay attention to.
Yes.
There is an expenditure line for honorarium
Absolutely.
in the budget.
Okay.
And then this budget is approved by each general council or
Yes.
each council,
Yes.
further endorsed by the honorable minister.
Yes.
And this is where we start to pay.
Yes.
With regards to allowances, council can only propose, and the ultimate authority lies with the honorable minister.
If you pay a councillor an amount and you classify it as honorarium, let's assume it is in fact captured in the budget as honorarium column.
Yes.
Who determines how much they receive?
Well, it will based on first the availability of funds for
Who determines how much councillors receive?
the Director of Finance will advise, and the CEO will ultimately determine.
Where in all the laws it say the CEO can determine how much is received, or the Director of Finance?
It's not specifically in the law.
It has to be specifically in the law.
No, let me explain. But
No, do it not as clear for clear then. Does it have to be specifically in the law, or it doesn't have to be specifically in the law?
it doesn't have to be
So
there.
which part of the law gives you that discretion then?
No, I'm not saying I have the discretion, and again, I'm not saying that it must be in the law. What I'm saying here
Yes.
is that there are some few expenditures
Yes.
that you will not see how the CEO will go ahead with those expenditures.
Has to be seen. The law says it has to be seen.
No, example.
Do you have the financial manual?
No, I don't have a copy.
Let me give you mine. Yes. So please, as CEO, for all payments, but we will have to do that. Now, whilst you stock, as opposed to any other person, I expect you back it up with regulation. But
Yes.
that's what the law says, correct?
Yes.
So guide us through your honorarium and how the authority you have, whichever clause that gives you the powers of any kind to pay honorarium, to pay and determine amounts.
Again, Councillor, I do not think you get the point that I'm trying to explain here. What I'm saying here is that
Yes.
for the approving authority to proceed to make payments,
Yes.
there are a few fundamental questions that have to be established.
I'm saying before payment. I'm saying the amount. For instance, A has to pay $10,000.
Yeah.
Who determines that?
Yeah, I think I just talked about it. I said the Director of Finance will advise me the amount that should be paid,
Yes.
and I will authorize that
Yes.
payment.
Mr. Jen, no, Mr. Jonga,
Yes, ma'am.
that is not what council is asking you. You are very cognizant of the fact that you have just told us that cumulatively you add these amounts together. What council is trying to put across is, if they have sat, because the councillors are supposed to sit minimum of twice in the month, right?
For subcommittee meetings.
For subcommittee meetings.
Yes.
And you have said a few minutes ago
Yes.
that these are oversight activities and functions, that you cumulatively put the figures together.
Yes.
We now want you to tell us those figures. How did you arrive at those figures? And who gave you the authority to say they are supposed to be paid 500 or 1,000? Because we see that the payment of this honorarium is not consistent.
Yes.
It's not consistent.
Yeah, it is not.
So you had a discretion, implicit discretion in varying the amounts you pay to councillors. So that is where the council is trying to get at. And we are very clear of the fact of what Section 27 has said when it comes to benefits. And the explanation you gave about the fact that it is captured in the budget is of no consequence when we talk about the setting up of, you understand, the determination of who is the person responsible to determine how much each councillor receives. Whether it is in the budget or not in the budget, the bottom line is who determines how much, whatever you term the payment, who is to determine how much it should be? Because it says there must be a regulation. Did you have any regulation? Did you have any regulation specifying all these issues that you need to follow to determine how much you pay?
I did talk about the letter from...
Now, what I will request as chair is provide us, because since you said it's cumulative, they do service and then you add up all the numbers, give us evidence of the services they have done, the requests they have made, and how much was determined at each point, you understand, to cumulate to a particular sum amount paid for the Corite or for the Tobaske. Council, you may proceed.
You were saying something?
Mr. Jonga, please note that we will want that evidence so that we will be very clear. Yes, Council, you may proceed.
Yes, Mr. Jonga, you were trying to explain something.
Yes, I think I'm done with that. What I was saying is that, I make reference to the letter that we received from the Ministry in 2020 April, that details the amount that should be payable for subcommittee meetings. And then you asked me who determines what is paid.
Where is that letter?
I have a copy. I can make that available.
Okay. You received this in 2019? 2020?
2020. April.
Regarding the amount that should be paid.
For subcommittee meetings and then general council meetings.
Okay. That will be helpful. When can we get that?
Just today. In the afternoon, I should be able to make that copy available. I didn't know that I should be here, so I had this document in my bag. Yeah.
Yes. So we need you to help us get it as soon as possible. Even if it means Madam Chair will ask for... I'm not sure whether we need a standard of 15 minutes to get that letter is going to be helpful. Or we can proceed with Mr. Sanyang and allow Mr. Jonga to have 10 minutes to bring the letter.
Mr. Jonga, do you have it here?
Yes, I should be able to step out if you permit me to get your copy.
Yes, we will allow you to get us the document. Okay. And we can proceed with Mr. Sanyang.
Yes, then Mr. Jonga, we will pause that issue for now.
Okay.
And until you come back.
Okay, thank you.
Right. Mr. Saya, in your statement you discussed a very important issue. The last paragraph of the first page said the people of the community, no, that's the second paragraph, that on the issue of contract award to bilateral plumbing and borehole drilling, this contract as a council and Kanji Bat within the two wards of Wasudu and Bantang Jang. I supervised the work for Bosadu and partially supervised the work, the one at Kangwali and Kanji Bat within Bantang Jang ward because the ward councillor Araba Bojang was sick at the time. Do you recall making this statement?
Yes, late
Now,
council.
what was the level of your supervision?
At Arankol Kunda, I was informed that train digging has to happen at the project site
Okay, informed by
the management.
who in the management informed you? You
When
received
we
a
were
letter?
No, it was not in a letter.
So who informed you?
Because the contract signing, I was called for a contract signing, if I could recall.
Who informed you?
It was the CEO,
Which CEO?
Jonga,
Okay.
who informed me that there is supposed to be a contract signing for these two boreholes.
Yes.
And that we're supposed to be present to witness the signing of this contract.
Yes.
It's where it was notified, I was notified that this train digging has to be done by the communities, based on the community participation.
Yes.
So as the chairperson of the ward, and during the budget, the proposal was in the budget that these two wards has to benefit from this project.
Yes.
And that as the chairperson of the ward, I was asked to identify which of the communities are affected.
Yes.
Where I give Arankoli Kunda. So in that being the case, being the chairperson of the ward, whatsoever work is going to be done there, I have to be present to be updating the council. So that is my supervision at the
Solution.
place.
So I will continue reading this second piece. You said, I received a total amount of 84,000 from council for the two wards, 40,000 for the work at Arankon Kunda, and for the four for Kangwali and Kanjibar. Who gave you this money?
Director of Finance, Mr. J.
Daro Jeng. Okay. And on behalf of the ward council, I gave the 44,000 to the ward councillor through a person in Kangwali village in an envelope as directed by the ward councillor Araba Bojang. The 40,000 is meant for the said work within my ward was paid to the youth through one Modu Baji, but I made an oversight to receive acknowledgement from Mr. Baji as proof of retirement. Now, this amount of $84,000, did you sign for it when you received it?
I did not remember signing for it.
So you did not sign for it?
I did not sign for it.
Good. And when you made this payment, how did you account for this money?
I was not accounted for.
Why?
That was how it was given to me.
I know.
did not sign, I give it to the people that are benefiting.
Yeah, but how would you not account for it? Did you not know at the time you should account for this money?
No, I did not.
How comes?
I was not informed.
You are
Where I was receiving, I did not sign.
Yeah.
Nobody informed me that when you go, when you hand over this money, this is the document that we need.
If you give your money to your contractor, would you want them to account for it?
Commissioner, if I may come in,
I'm giving
if
an
I
example.
may elaborate on it.
If you have a business and you paid a contractor to do a work for you, would you want them to account for what they have done?
If I am given the opportunity to elaborate on this
would you
issue,
answer them?
if I am giving a contract to someone,
Yes.
I am given a contract. That contract has to be signed between him or her
Yes.
for it to be implemented, and the documents has to be.
Yes. And then the individual tells you that if the idea is they should buy 10, let's say 10 laptops, you want to see that it's done.
Yes, but I want to.
You want to
explain
see
this.
it's done.
Yes.
Now, when you received the $84,000, when you served as councillor, you knew there should be accountability.
May I comment?
You knew there should be accountability. Is that
Yes.
false?
Yes.
True?
Yes.
You knew there should be accountability.
Yes.
Now comment.
In this project,
Yes.
what has happened is during the signing
Yes.
ceremony,
Yes.
it was clearly stated that train digging has to be community participation.
Yes.
If you are getting me.
Yes. Absolutely.
When the contract was signed, the train digging was about to commence. That was the time I was notified that they are going to be given honorarium, but there was no contract that was signed between the communities and the council.
Did you retire? Did you explain retire or whatsoever? The amount? Did they sign acknowledgement of this money, receipt of this money?
They did not sign because it was not an agreement that was signed
How
between
would we
them and
know?
them.
How would the commission know that you have paid this individual?
To be frankly enough, the commission cannot know.
That's the issue.
Yes. And
Mr.
there is another issue that I can admit is my fault.
Yes.
During the signing of this contract, I was not privy to know what is inside the contract.
Then you should not have taken part.
No, the issue was, at that time, I came newly as a councillor.
not an excuse.
2018 has elapsed, no project for my people.
It's not an excuse.
So when I was informed that my ward has to benefit and I identified the ward, then when I was called for the contract to be signed, I was eager for the community to have this project because we were in a dire need of water. Because way back from the First Republic to the Second Republic, this community we have been struggling. There was no clean water for them. So my ambition and my anticipation was for them to have the project. That was my focus.
Can we focus on the money you have received and whether you have retired it or not?
I have clearly said that I will not retire.
We focus on that.
Yeah.
Just focus on that. We don't want to know what you've had during the First, Second, Third, Fourth Republic, what you did not have, whatsoever period. We are here for accountability. What you were given is what we know. You were given an amount of $84,000.
Yes.
And you have said you can't account for it.
I can account for it because
if you can't account for it,
yes,
and you are supposed to account for it, then what should be done? We expect you to account for it until at this point. If not, you are personally liable for the money.
At the time of receiving, I did not also sign any document.
Whose fault is that, sir?
It was not my fault because it was not my mandate to prepare the payment voucher for me to sign.
You have received public funds.
Yes.
You were given public funds.
Yes.
And you know that money is not yours.
Yes.
If it is not your mandate to prepare a contract document to sign,
yes, as a representative at the care person.
Yes. So if they fail to make you sign a document, would it not be more prudent for you to make sure whoever you are giving the money to, they will also sign this document?
Yes.
And retire the money. Who is responsible?
At the level of the community.
At the level of giving the money. You now have the $84,000.
It's entirely in my hands.
It's entirely your responsibility.
Yes, in my responsibility.
Yes, that's how finance works. So since we can't account for this money, the responsibility is on you.
It's left for the commission to determine.
But you accept this one. You have already said it's your responsibility.
I said it's my responsibility, and it's left for the commission to determine.
To determine what? Mr. Younger, you can have a seat, please. Mr. Younger, thank you very much for providing this data. I think it's helpful. Madam Chair, the date is 26th of April 2020. Signed by Alu Sedikan for the permanent secretary. Addressed to the CEO of the Brikama Area Council into evidence as an exhibit.
It's a scanned copy of the original that I received.
Thank you. Madam Chair. We respectfully apply to tender the letter dated the 26th of April 2020 from the Minister of Land.
Dated the 26th of April 2020 with reference LM9 stroke 190 stroke 01 in brackets 9. Letter is addressed to the CEO of Brikama Area Council with the caption approval of payment of service. The chairman, local government service commission, finance director of Brikama Area Council. The letter is /019.
As the commission pleases. Now, yes?
Yes.
Let me repeat the question again. It is pursuant to this letter of approval that you are paying the councillors
Yes.
for the corrector.
Yes. And again, if you could allow me, I talked about the oversight functions, activities that they do.
Yes.
And sometimes you can have a meeting of the heads of committees as well. So the meeting of head of committees is usually regarded also has a meeting.
That's fine. So my question now is, if it is pursuant to this letter,
Yes.
that this letter talks about allowances. Strictly, I'm not honorarium.
Yes.
You agree?
Yes, I agree.
So now do we leave honorarium issue aside and no, Mr. You, because you are highly educated, and so it's important that we have the facts. It has covered honorarium.
No.
Is the answer no? In those, then we leave the issue of honorarium for now and treat the payments as allowances?
Yes, because clearly the CEO do not have any authority over allowances, and like we could see, the approval emanates from the minister.
Yes. So now, if they are allowances and not honorarium, why are they classified as honorarium and not allowance? That's the first question.
Well, are they, I don't know which authority classify them, because maybe it could be on the claim that was sent to my office.
So you don't know which authority classified as honorarium?
Except if I see.
But wait a minute, Mr. Young. You have said that the honorarium is captured in your budget, right?
Yes,
It should be allowances, right?
yes, because these are sundry payments. Yes.
Yes, it should be allowances. Now, allowances are to be approved by the ministry.
Yes.
This is an example of the approval.
Yes.
This is in 2020.
Yes, sir.
So, for instance, to start with, if you look at it, it says, I invite reference to your missive BAC/076, that's A, that's B, dated the 28th of January 2020, alluding to the subject matter above.
Yes.
I am directed to convey the Honorable Minister's approval of allowances of councillors as follows.
Yes.
A, that all councillors be paid a sitting allowance of $1,500 for general council meeting.
Yes.
That council subcommittees meeting be paid at $500. However, before any payment of any allowance is made, the following documents must be provided as proof of subcommittee meeting as approved.
Yes.
Number 1, Roman figure 1, records of minutes of meeting. Roman figure 2, record of attendance. Roman figure 3, the maximum number of subcommittee meeting sitting to be paid allowance shall not exceed 2 meetings in each month.
Yes.
Is that not the case?
Yes.
However, in case of an emergency meeting, approval must be granted by the chairman of the council.
Yes.
Now, this directive is taking effect from January 2020.
Yes.
Do you see this?
Yes.
All agenda for subcommittee meeting shall be sent to the office of the chairman for approval. Now, let's start.
Yes.
Do you follow this?
Yes.
Do you follow this?
Yes.
Good. So, in approving payments, you follow this as CEO.
Yes.
Now, when you paid $8,000 in a given year, that must be how many meetings? But the minimum is 2.
In a month, the minimum is 2 in
Yes.
a month. In case of emergency meetings, the
Approved by the
committee
CEO. So by the chairman.
By the chairman, yes. So we have instances where committees could meet more than twice.
Let's not go into trying to give examples without facts. So do you have records of all these? For every year that you're making payment, do you have the records of the meetings that the committees will sit before you approve how much they will get paid?
Yes, I don't know it offhand, but maybe close to 9 or
Close to 9.
close to 9 years.
So you will provide us with the records of all the meetings that are given to you, the record of attendance, records of meetings, and the agenda that you have calculated to arrive at the amount that you have been paying to the council.
Okay.
You are saying you can do that?
Yes, I'll consult the secretaries to the committees.
Then we'll expect you to come back tomorrow and provide us with this. When you want.
Most of the secretaries were here. I think one of them, Honorable Jaju was a secretary to the Finance Committee. I understand he was also asked to produce some.
Yes. Monday,
Okay, thank
which
you.
is a fair time for you to collate all of this.
Thank you.
Not only the minutes as well,
Yes.
Madam Chairperson, even the vouchers in the letter. Is that not the case? Do you agree with that?
The vouchers for the subcommittee meetings that are already paid, or
Yes, for every payment.
or the vouchers for the honor committee meetings?
Yes.
Okay, all right.
So the vouchers for all the payments.
The subcommittees.
Yes, with the necessary supporting documents as outlined in the letter dated 26th of April 2020.
Okay.
Please write that down. In that case, Madam Chair will
Are you set?
Yes, sir.
Oh,
Yes, ma'am.
okay.
Yeah.
Now, I just want you to also take note of what paragraph B, sub 3 is saying that meet in a month, and they have indicated in an instance where there is emergency, they must have approval of the chairman. So we would want to see the approvals that have been granted for these extra meetings, because we now know from this letter that what was approved was 500 per sitting per council, right?
Yes.
All right. Now, management misdirected the councillors in the understanding that they are receiving honorarium instead of allowance. Just as you have said before the commission now, that it's not supposed to be honorarium, it's supposed to be allowance, if I can get you correctly. My statement is that would it not be correct to state that it was a misdirection given to the councillors?
Office do not transmit any such communication to the councillors, informing them that it is an honorarium instead of an allowance. I do not have that communication with any subcommittee.
Honorarium, and it is a service that they provide.
Well, I think they'll be in a better position to answer
No,
that
but
question.
no, Mr. Jonga. Commission, to appreciate and understand what has transpired.
Yes.
Because you know what the intent of Section 27 of the Local Government Act is. And it is based on this letter that you said you were paying the councillors.
Yes.
Then why didn't you capture the payment, you understand, using the correct terminology so that there will be no ambiguity at the end of the day? For the purposes of an outside. Because I'm just helping you. I'm just helping you. That is why I said, would it not be correct to say that it's perhaps a misinformation or a misdirection? Because your documents show that it is honorarium that is being paid to these people.
Maybe there have been communication from my office to the office of the councillors, but that has never been the case. Maybe it's a misunderstanding.
No, but the director of finance, we asked him, this honorarium is it lawful? He said it's not lawful. The honorarium is not lawful.
Yeah, that is his
Correct to say that the law
that could be the case.
which guided you to pay.
Mr. Silent.
So
Yes,
can
that
you
Finance Committee, for example.
At the finance committee, there is committee meetings. Yes, we do receive allowances for committee meetings.
For committee meetings.
Yes.
How often? How do you receive it? After the meeting?
After the meeting,
Yes, before you receive it.
Yes, committee
But be
meeting.
it as it may, are you referring to when they are receiving their monies?
I'm talking about the oversight function. I think I did talk about the oversight
No,
function.
I'm referring to the allowance. Here, the oversight function will have to have later.
Accumulation of the oversight functions. I did not say the subcommittee meetings.
Okay, please guide me through the oversight function at the in the exhibit, the letter.
You have the finance subcommittee will engage in a task force to the enforcement of collections.
No. No, Mr. Jonga.
Yes.
Did you or in pursuant to the letter received on the 26th of April 2020?
Yes, I did to the commission, but before I submitted this letter, I did mention that the payments are accumulated for oversight activities of the subcommittees.
Yeah.
Yes, for the oversight. For committees engaging in oversight activities.
The payments are as so which means no, just wait a minute. Committees are concerned, they get paid at most within a week.
Yes.
That we know. So
Let me go back again. You say
that even if they meet 10 times,
no.
do you understand what I'm saying?
No. The emergencies are different. You can permit me. Let me.
Says Roman figure 3. Roman figure 3. Now, for every first,
Yes.
we've already dealt with the meetings, the general number. Meetings that they have, even if it is 10 in the month or 2 in the month, the maximum is 2.
Yes.
We've already even if it is 3 days or so, is that what you said, Mr. Sanya?
You have misunderstood my been paid, and that the communication that he is reading is has been filtered.
No,
down
forget
to
the communication. Forget
That is the 2 meetings that we have been we conduct has to be paid.
meetings. Do you hear me now?
Okay.
Good. So, Mr. Jonga,
Yes, sir.
so vouchers to add up to how much they
Yes.
That's number one.
Yes.
And what else?
The approval of notice, I take.
The emergency meeting. 2019 at the Finance Committee.
At this point, I can confirm to you.
No, the answer is I can recall, I know. Have you had emergency meetings in 2020?
The issue of emergency meetings, I cannot establish whether we
cannot establish that.
No, no.
2021.
So I cannot.
You don't recall having emergency meetings, do you recall?
Pardon?
Do you recall having emergency meetings in 2021?
I could recall having emergency meetings
In 2021.
but even 2020. But I cannot recall, and if I
That's why we're here to issue to resolve. That's why hear me out. Yeah.
I don't have.
Things that you should produce. No, don't worry. Come back.
And that, if I may have,
do we have a date?
If I may have permission from the Madam Kia to come in.
Yes, you can go on. I'm listening to you.
The records that the late council is seeing, I am already a witness to it. Because our secretary at the time, who was Honorable Naminjadi, was assigned by this commission to produce those records. And he read a communique
To produce the minutes. If you discuss with the chairman, and is that not correct? Is it not our duty
Yes.
to confirm whether you sat
Yes.
and whether it was lawful? BKAC/001.
As the commission pleases. Now, you have served
2023.
to 2023.
Yes.
Okay. And you were also in committees as well?
Yes, I was in the committee, yes.
Please tell us about that.
Committee and Education Committee.
Market Committee, Environment Committee, and
Education Committee.
Education Committee.
Yes.
Now,
Mr. Kinte, kindly speak into the mic so that we
Okay.
can get you.
now, this ward allocation did you benefit during the time you served? Were you allocated?